Okay, so if you saw the live stream, you'll know that I've got a broken krone. If you didn't see the live stream, you don't know, but I'm just saying, we got a broken krone. So I'm just warming up this, leaf blower. Tim's coming with the big leaf blower. I'm going to set it on the ground and I'm going to show you what I've got inside. Before I do that, though, I'm going to do a very important step, and that is to set the brake. Now, to get the parts out of here that I need to get out of here, I can either take this panel out, which I will have to do, or I can get to it from here. As you can see, this is stuffed with hay, and there's nothing in the window, but I don't know if it's supposed to be there yet or not. Let me climb up top here. And it's drizzling rain. Just started to drizzle, so I got to get this stuff off of here. It's gonna get really cakey. But if you look down in here, let's see what we got. I'll take you down into the belly of the beast. Oh, come on, that tractor's running, which makes me nervous while I'm down here. But okay, so you can see, here's the track, and this is where it's supposed to be. And it goes around the corner, but there's two bearings, and the little bearing has to go into this one, and I got a feeling that I'm completely missing a little bearing. I'm not 100% sure of that because I can't see. It was a little dark last night. This is the bearing that is in the wrong spot, and it's probably going to be a real bastard to get it at. I do not see oh yeah, there's the other bearing. It's down on the bottom. It's really weird. Like really, really weird. I don't know how I'm going to get that out of there without tearing the whole bar out, without making a mess. I don't know, but anyway, this is how this works. This is the one that runs, that stiffens and becomes straight to stuff the hay up into the front of the plunger. Now, if you look right here, you're going to see that this thing is extraordinarily loose. Someone has not tightened the bolt up on the inside of this thing correctly. So this bar has to come out. This bar has to come out in order to be able to actually tighten up this piece here. So that's got to come out of there, and it's a heavy bastard, but it's okay because I'm going to take it off and I'm going to slide it out here. They're all numbered 1 1, you know, 1 1 is 1, and we'll see what happens. I have a sneaking suspicion that I have bigger problems than what I think I do, but we'll find out here shortly. As soon as I can figure that out, I don't even know what's going to happen in here. I'm not sure. But I do know one thing, this is gonna suck. It's gonna suck. So, anyway, what I'm gonna do is go ahead and blow off the dirt out of the front of this thing. You see all this right here? That has to go out the front. So I'm gonna get Timothy to hand me my little wand of it. Okay, so you get to see the dust go flying. Lots and lots and lots of dust. It's amazing in 450 bales how much crap can accumulate on this baler. I mean, it was perfectly clean when I started the day before, and or 2 days before, but it just creates dust. It's dry hay. Damp hay doesn't do that. It just doesn't. The hay was really dry. It is drizzling right now as I'm cleaning it off, or me and Tim are cleaning it off. But we probably took a couple 100 pounds of dirt, and not dirt, but dust off of the baler, which makes it a more pleasant experience when you're crawling around underneath it or inside of it. And that's, you know, what I will be having to do for the next 8 hours of my time while I play with the, play with that tine bar to get it out of there, to figure out what the problem really truly is. And to be quite honest with you, it is still somewhat unclear as to what the problem really truly is. I made a phone call to Messick's yesterday, and I have not gotten a phone call back yet, as of yet. So I don't know. Still waiting. Are we calling this the Friday afternoon rush job? I think that's what we're calling it. It's now a Friday afternoon rush job. Now, I'm not a nitpicker. Carl is, though. But Carl's, I'm underneath there picking this astronomical amount of shit out of the front, and he says, you know, this thing doesn't look right. I'm like, it's fine, Carl, you can't put it on backwards. No, it don't look right. So he goes over to the other side, and he says, it don't look right. It's not right. So, I don't know. What he was pointing out was that the contours of the shield are not matching the contours of the baler. As you can see, there's actually a bump there in the shield. So, you know, of course, I'm like, get out of here. They can't put that thing on backwards. They wouldn't do such a thing. Well, apparently they did do such a thing. So, anyways, I gotta take this off of here anyway. But, I'm just busting their balls, because honestly, it doesn't make any difference as to the function of the machine. But we'll get into that a little bit later when we start nitpicking about why the tine bars inside this machine are now loose, like loose, and that's when I'm gonna nitpick. Guards I don't nitpick too much about, but
you gotta take the top out.
No, they're on slides.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, that's probably why they just got, hey, it's Friday afternoon, let's get the hell out of here.
It goes that way.
That's how it's supposed to go.
Flip. You don't want it on, right?
No, we're going to take it out. It's a lot easier for me to get in and out of there anyway.
All right.
Might as well take off the other side, too. We'll put them back on so we don't lose them. That's right. They even cranked it down good and tight. I don't know. I wasn't out there this time. I was sick. I had this fucking Lyme disease for how long now? Months and months. But
that shield is on the drum back there.
Yeah, yep, it's there. So anyway, now you get to see somewhat. Timothy's looking inside this gearbox with the little light thing. There's a light on that. Yeah. Don't put it in. Yeah, I'll tell you, there's no way to get that thing out of there either. See how far that thing springs? How far does that spring go? Well, not much to turn into quite a lot. Oh man, how much did it flop down? Flop down out of the thing? Yep. Okay. Let's take them all out. Get in there, get the impact gun, take them all out. All these. Alright. And we should be able to drop that thing down enough to get it out. Impact gun. Yep.
Up here.
Oh, there it is. Well, I thought I had stuck it on. What?
I'm recording.
Well, unrecord. Okay, so, alright. Haven't seen anything that is wrong. I have to kind of edit this video because I was certain that something wasn't tightened up. And I know that, you know, fuck it all Friday thing, or, you know, kind of got Carl a little more upset, these panels, you know, but that's no big deal. I can't see that there's anything that's really wrong, other than a wad of extraordinarily damp hay, which I think, of course, I don't look back much anymore with this baler, but I think it built up on the corner and then wedged itself in the base, where it comes in, and actually caused this whole plate system here to flex out of just far enough out of the track because there isn't really much. I mean, here, let me take a look with this camera here. You can see this is the one that slipped out. It's riding on the outer side of that rim, just like that one is. So it's pretty much in the right spot. I'm not seeing anything weird.
Move this thing closer.
Yeah, I mean, if it was up to me, I think personally I would want to slide the whole thing inward farther. There's a lot of play here. If you see this, I don't know why that was left to be so loose. I think I'm going to have to call Messick's tomorrow, because tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to have it all back together again, but I think I'm going to call Messick's and talk to Gerald about this play on the end of these bars, because they are greased, but it seems like there's an awful lot of play in those splines. Now, whether they're hammered or what, I don't know. Let me see if I can try this one here. See, now that one doesn't move at all. That one is very tight. Yeah, that one's very, very tight. The other thing that I noticed was here, if you take a look here, that hole is hogged out, and it shouldn't be. I don't think that they had that bolt where it belonged. I don't think it had it tight enough. But I'm going to check on some of the other ones, like this one here. Yeah, that's fairly loose too. And I mean, that doesn't really do anything. That's just the shim that holds the grease. That's a grease manifold, because these bearings are greased. So I don't know. I'm going to put it back together again. Finish putting it back together again, and hopefully I don't have this issue again. But I'm going to talk to Gerald and maybe possibly order these pieces in and actually pop these off at a later date and replace these. Because if there's so much play in there, it kind of concerns me, if you know what I mean. Because it allowed it to snap off of that track, and if that's the case, that means that there's something wrong. I don't think it should be that loose, but we'll talk to Gerald about that tomorrow. But anyway, I'm going to finish putting it back together again, run it, and see how it goes. Hopefully everything is okay. Right, Tim?
Crunch.
Crunch. Yeah, shut up. Okay, so, alright, so we're back in time, like, you know, Back to the Future back in time, or just plain back in time. What I did, yeah, back in time, gotta get back in time. Anyways, what I did was, I took a can of chrome spray paint, and I put a line right down across that. I locked the flywheel where it is correctly right now, and then after taking all this lower bar that was down there that was out of whack out, we got it back in time. Put it right back in. Tim put the cable, or the coupler, that coupler right there, he put that back on there, and everything is where it belongs. I do have to put the bolts back in there next, and we can do that now, I guess. Grant's in there fighting with that, and but anyways, we're going to put that back on. And then he's going to have that together. We took the cover off the gearbox. Tim did. Did you put any Lucas in that?
No.
And we're going to put Lucas engine oil, or Lucas oil stabilizer, in that gearbox. In a little. Oh, you son of a bitch! I'm going to put Lucas oil stabilizer in there because it just needs to be stabilized, I'd say. It looks like there was a little bit of chafing from the current on the gears, from the current oil that was in there, lubricant. So, and they changed the oil in it when Messick's had it. And there's one thing that I did discover that, you know, I'm not 100% sure if that is the cause of this. But let me look here. I'm going to show you on this side. Maybe this side? Yeah, this side right here. This is the opposite side. This is the one that derails and actually stuffs the hay up into the bale chamber. This side here, well, there's a bolt. Funky looking bolt. Let me see if I can. Let me get my flashlight. I'm in a really precarious place right here. But if you can see that, this right here, there's a nut here. It goes on a long bolt that goes through, and it holds the carrier, and then this is the grease manifold, and that is held in place by another nut over top of that bolt. Now, they're loose. They seem very loose, and when they're loose like that, it seemed like there was a lot of slop and play in there, so I tightened it up, and they were loose on all of them. Now, I'm not sure if that's correct or not. I'm going to call Gerald tomorrow out at Messick's and find out if it's correct or not. But I do have a book here. Ow, hit my head any more than this, I'm going to have blood running. Anyway, I'm going to get I got the operator's manual there, and that might have a spec for that, or might mention it somewhere in the pages. So I'm going to climb out of here, I'm going to get the book, and I'm going to look and see whether you're supposed to tighten that or leave them loose. Now, it's kind of funny because if they're loose, then there's a lot of play in there, and that seemed like that's why it slipped out of the. That seems like that's why it slipped out of the off the track. It didn't make any sense to me as to why it was so loose, but I don't know. Maybe that's the way they want it. Who knows? I tightened it up, and it seems like it's stiff now, like it's supposed to. But I might be wrong. I doubt it, though. I can't imagine that I'm wrong, right? I couldn't possibly be wrong, could I? But I'm going to read and find out, and I'm going to ask Gerald. But I tightened them because that made them stiff. I made them like they're supposed to be. I'm also going to run grease through it because I've had it open, and make sure there's no leaks, because I got to make sure there's no leaks. All that beating and banging, that thing actually aligned correctly. That scares me. That really scares me, because this thing was screaming. It was doing things that it shouldn't do. I'm hoping that it's not blown up inside. Like that one. I don't know how it could possibly be, but alright. Moment of truth. Let's see what happens. I'll start it up. You ready to see what happens? Get all those tools off of here so they don't go flying. That stuff there, and I'll start the tractor up. Oh, you gotta put the power takeoff shaft on. Q. It is clutch. Walk around and get a fork or something to fork that shit in. Walk around. No, we're just gonna fork it in slow. You stand back. I don't need to feed you through that thing. It'll kill you. And your mother won't be very happy with me. I mean, she'll be glad you're gone, but yeah, she won't be happy with me. She actually, I don't know. That ain't a fork. That's something that does. Alright, hold on a second. A little more. That'll do. This is where it tried to kill me. Seems to be working. Yeah, it's working. This'll feed you in there so fast you'll be dead before you ever knew it. What the hell have you done? Throw the damn cardboard in there? I guess we get a cardboard now. Alright. everything is functioning, I'm going to put all the shields back on. I'm getting in the tractor here, 8530, and I'm going to show you some of the controls with the baler. Now, right now, what I've done is I've turned the key here. I've turned that backwards so that it just runs the radio if I want to run the radio. And you can't start the tractor, and it doesn't turn on the ECU or the HCU or any of that other stuff that could overheat by not actually functioning or running. So you turn it backwards. Same in your car. You won't burn up coils in your car if you turn it backwards to the radio position. I don't know what they actually call it. Accessory position. So, with this, you can just simply turn your grease gun on or off. Your knotter. I could actually trip my knotter right here if I wanted to. I don't know what the hell that is. What if I turn that? No, there is no on or off on that one. Not sure what that one is. M1. I have no idea. Oh, I got lights I can turn on and off. Watch here. I'll turn them on. I think they're on back there, right? Off? Yeah. Yeah, you can see them turn on and off. Here's one. Let's go this one. Let's hit that one on. Oh, they're the ones that are up on the top. So if I was going to be working at night and I wanted to play with that, I could just turn them on and off. So that's where that is. So you want to go through and you want to make sure that I've shut the grease off. If I haven't shut the grease off, it will be all out on the ground by morning. Is my brake on? My brake is probably on. And yep, it's telling me the brake is on for the flywheel. So, which is good because I was in there. So I can shut this off and that's it. Just shut the key off and that shuts the computer off and that's that. So, wow. Ugh. I'm going to call this a good deal. I'd say I'm done. I want to say that I'm done because I think I'm done. And for the most part, I am done. Ugh. I'm done. The reason I'm done is because it actually worked. All that hay that was on the ground here, you saw it go into it. It functioned. It did what it was supposed to do. It was still in time. Ow! And that thing just stabbed me. And the hay actually looks pretty good. Not bad at all. We do have some what you would call banana bales because the way the hay tedder threw the hay and the way the rake was picking up the hay after the tedder had threw the hay around, it caused a slight bow in the bales. So you got a banana bale. And Dad was complaining about that. Tim was complaining about that. So if I don't have to use the tedder, then I won't get that because it doesn't. I don't know. I didn't ted it out at full throttle. I only tedded it out about half throttle and high set rate of speed because I wanted it to stand the hay up and let the air flow through it so that it would dry out faster. And it caused uneven windrows, which are a pain in the ass to feed through this thing, which causes banana bales. So anyway, I am very, very tired. I'm going home. I've worked all day, been up since 3 o'clock this morning, and it is now like 7 o'clock. So I think I've worked enough hours today. So thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe for more.